Hello everybody, Mr. Pilgrim here, coming at you with the 6th video in our Platinum Trophy Guide for Bloodborne. And in this video we're going to be going through the Nightmare Frontier, and we're going to be finishing up the Forbidden Woods. Now that is going to entail a lot, but I'm going to do my best. Now we're first going to start off here at the Nightmare Frontier. So we've already made our way through the lecture building and made it to the original Nightmare Frontier. Now there is another version that we can access later on that is going to be a part of the main progression, but this is more of a side area progression, but you will still need to do this in order to get the Platinum Trophy, as there is a boss here that we are going to have to fight, as well as a special hunter tool that we might have to suicide for. But nevertheless, let's begin. Alright, so first and foremost, you're going to want to make sure you have some antidote equipped. Now, for the most part, when running through this first area, there's not much to talk about. We're just going to be running through. Now, for the most part, you can just run past everything and then make it all the way to the boss, like I am going to, despite getting somehow invaded, which is quite crazy. Now, whenever you do make it here to this swamp, all you're going to want to do is just simply just keep rolling. Now eventually you'll make it here. See this giant. Then you're going to have probably the toughest enemy to deal with in the game, the Winter Lantern. But we're just going to run past it and not deal with it. Now you'll see the bar in the top of the screen is about to fill, and oh, barely avoided it. That's good news. But anyways, we've now made it to the boss arena. I wonder if the NPC invader guy even realized that I was right next to him. Probably not. Since that's the case, we're going to activate the shortcut then. So coming down here, gonna head off to the left up here. As you'll see, you'll have this guy chilling, ready for us. But just like that, he goes down. And then here you can activate a shortcut back up to the top. But nevertheless, there we see the guy got poisoned. But now we can head back and make it to the boss. I mean, he's slowly making his way over. I mean, I'll give him that much. But I have a video I have to record, sadly. But here we have our boss arena. Like always, once you guys are ready. Okay, just checking, make sure. Once you are ready, want to come to about right here. And here we have the amygdala fight. Now, as you'll see, we can attack his head if we get the right moves. Come on. Or we can attack his limbs. It's just really about getting the right attack. As you can see though, it is a bit annoying trying to go for his head most of the time. Now there are a couple of moves that you can try and get him to go and do. Now how successful that is a bit dependent, but with enough hits to the head, as you'll see, you can get a stagger off. But eventually he will tear off his arms. But this is when you have the best advantage to go for his head. Come on. But just like that, he goes down. And that will get us the Ailing Lauren Chalice. Which will get you a trophy, as well as getting you another trophy for defeating Amygdala. Now, we're not quite done yet, as we need to head back and get that hunter tool to finish up the Nightmare Frontier. I know I did kind of speed run through it just a bit, but getting invaded kind of complicates things, and for the most part, we got all the main stuff out of the way in terms of progressing through the area. So we're going to head back to that starting lantern. So from the lantern at the start, you're just going to follow this path that I take, and this will allow you to head all the way down into this little poison swamp area over here. So from here, you're just going to want to kind of slip past this guy here, drop down here, and here on one of these corpses you will find 2 antidote. Now, as you'll see, we're just going to be rolling our way to the item. Now, this is probably going to be a suicide attempt, just getting to the item in one piece. As you'll see, the enemy that we have to deal with right there. There we go. And we get the Messenger's Gift Hunter tool. And just like that, we were able to get out a-okay. Alright, so as you can see so far, we have at least 5 of the Hunter tools now. We just need 4 more to go. But now we can head back to the Hunter's Dream and finally pick up at the Forbidden Woods. Now that you are back here at the Forbidden Woods, we can just take the shortcut down here. and basically skip a good portion and then backtrack to grab a unique firearm. So from here, all you're going to want to do is just immediately turn around. Ow. Come back inside this building here. Grab some Madman knowledge. Ah. Okay. Anyways. Coming back up. And outside here, as you'll see, just going to drop down. Swing around here. And we're just going to climb up this ladder. Now, once inside here, all you're going to want to do is come over here and grab the poison knives. And then just over here, you'll see some more poison knives. Now, we have an NPC right here, but I'm not going to interact with him, nor care to. Deal with this guy. But coming across these cogs, you're just going to come over here and drop down. And here you will get the cannon unique firearm weapon of sorts. Now you can roll down here or drop down, either way works. And now we can make our way. Just run past most of the enemies here. There is going to be kind of a yellow brick road-esque path that you can follow for the most part. Come over here, grab some frenzied cold blood. But as you'll see, you have this kind of brick road. That is the main path that will lead you to where you need to go. As you can see, now do be careful of the giant snake balls like so, as they can spit poison at you at range, so try not to just run in a straight line. That way you don't get hit in the back. As you can see, like what just happened. Now eventually you'll make it to this point here where you have a left and right path, and you'll have this boar. If you're low on blood vials, obviously this guy is going to give us a decent amount. There we go. 2 extra, doesn't hurt. Then here, once again, you have another choice. You can go left or right. I do believe heading left here unlocks a new shortcut for us. If I'm correct. No, this is... I know what this path is. My bad. Instead, you have to go to the right. This is a big area, so it is a little bit hard to remember the path all the time. But here, as you'll see, we have the second shortcut, which leads back up to just before the first shortcut is like the best way I could describe it. So now we'll head back and head the other way. As you'll see here, you'll have this little tree area to let you know you're going in the somewhat right direction. grab the Dissipating Lake rune. You will have another boar, as you'll see right here. And just because, like always, we're going to want to have as much healing as we want for this upcoming fight. Here you'll get another blood vial. And then you're going to want to head left, not right. And you'll know you're in the right spot because you'll have this boss-like looking arena. Like always, once you are ready, make sure you have the right stuff you want equipped. And then we can begin. Now this is a 3-on-1 boss fight. Best way I can describe it is try and get the melee guy here. Do be careful of fire breathing. Now, after a certain point, these guys will, as you'll see, gain some buffs. And they will hurt a little bit harder. But taking that one down is going to be key. Then you're going to want to get this guy here. Obviously, if you can get them both, that's fine. But getting the flaming sword dude next, as you'll see, they sometimes will have some kind of broken AI. And then all that's left is this guy here. As you'll see, and just like that, he goes down fairly easily. You'll get the Blood Rapture rune. Then from here, we're going to head to Bergenworth. Do be careful of an ambush on the right, as you'll see. That's all these enemies like to do. If they land on you, it is a pretty big chunk to your HP. So now we're at Bergenworth, and we're going to take our time and head through and collect all of the important things. Like always from the lantern here, you're just going to run this path that I'm taking up the stairs here on the left. If you come up here, do be careful of one of those weird alien guys. And over here you'll find an arcane lake rune. Then from here you're just going to drop down. Coming down here you should see one of those weird arcane enemies that will fire meteors at you, so be careful. Get some madman knowledge and then a great one's wisdom. Then from here you're just going to come around to the opposite side here and you'll open up your shortcut gate right here. Heading inside, just off to the left, you'll find a pearl slug. Crafting ingredients needed for our chalice dungeons. And here you'll have a NPC enemy that you can basically just run past. And that's what I'm going to do. So from here, I basically just run around and climb up this ladder here, as they will not follow us up. Kind of weird, but oh well. You'll find the Lunarium key here, which you need to progress. Then coming up here, you will get ambushed by one of those weird... these guys. That was kind of close. But once he's taken care of, we'll get our next hunter tool right here. The empty phantasm shell. Basically, this will allow you to apply magic damage onto your weapon, which is kind of cool. Now from here, the NPC should be gone away from us. There they are. Now if you want to deal with them, you can. As you'll see, they're kind of a bit tanky. And they can do that, which hurts a lot. Always make sure you have at least one. Come on. Okay, I'm wasting so much. Now, if you really need to, you can basically just come and summon. Or not. Oh well. We'll come back for this. Alright, once they are defeated, you'll get some blue elixir. Now from here you can use the Lunarium key. And here you can talk with Master Willem. Or, I guess, be granted insight or wisdom. Then from here, once you're ready, you can head down and we can fight the next boss. Just plunge yourself into the lake, like so. Oh, wait a moment. Or actually, best case scenario is get close enough, activate some bolt paper. As you'll see, all of these spiders can be a bit annoying. So it's also best to try and take care of these guys whenever you can. As you'll see, Rom the Vacuous Spider doesn't really attack much during the first couple of phases. He still can attack, of course, but he's solely reliant on the spiders for right now. As you'll see, if he lifts his head up, that's when you know to run away. Now, as you can see, the spiders are pretty weak, but because they have numbers, it's best to try and thin the herd. Now, if he ever happens to go onto his back like so, you'll see he has a fired projectile that he sends out. And the worst one is when he raises his head and summons meteors. That is not fun. As you can see though, these spiders still hurt quite a lot. And then, as you'll see, we are now in the final stretch. So while we have the time, we're just going to take care of the rest of these little buggers. And try and be mindful of where our positioning is. As you can see, his ranged attacks can do quite a bit of damage. I think I'm just dead. Nope, nope. Well, look at that. This is probably one of the longer fights just because of the ads. But we are almost there. I think it's almost time. Luckily, you can stagger Rom out of his attacks. But just like that, they will go down. I believe it's a she, not a he, so that is my fault. But once all is said and done, you'll now be wondering, well, what do you do since you're stuck here in this little area? If you look around slowly, you should see this figure off in the distance. Once you get close enough, you'll have a cutscene. And then from here, you will officially be able to enter Yahar Ghul. Now, I know we've already entered Yahar Ghul, and if you wanted to ensure that you could still farm those 2 pigs, then I would wait before doing this. However, as of now, I think we're okay. You always have the Chalice dungeons. Now you can see the amygdala that takes you to the nightmare. But from here, you're just going to want to head down. And we're going to grab the first lantern of the area before ending the video. As you'll see, just like in the Chalice dungeons, there are these red-esque enemies that can get infinitely summoned. But here we have our first lantern. But that is going to do it for this video. Hopefully you guys found this video helpful or informative in any way, shape, or form. As always, I am Mr. Pilgrim, and I will see you all in the next video.